Hello, it's Collette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I'm here for this week's energy forecast. So, we've got a pretty significant week, and I know that we've been building up to the powers of the feminine and masculine within to this point where we're going to be entering into Venus retrograde this week, which would then manifest for us any issues we need to deal with regards to the relationship of the feminine and masculine outside of ourselves. So this is beautiful place of work to have done some inner reflection on your own energies and what guides you, and then deeper into the sphere of relating in your life. But first of all, we do have to pay homage to the fact that Mars has gone direct. And that means that those places that we've been feeling stuck has began to move. And actually, we've got like a gust of new energy that might be telling us something different to what was going on before. And it might be kind of like a swift change of mind or a certain new sense of feeling. And it's really important to work with those new feelings and analyze them, just go into a deeper reflection of them, not particularly act on them. So this energy is moving forward. There is more energy in us. We're finding that we're full of a bit more energy than what was there before. And there's also going to be like a gusto of new emotions. And that is going to be very important now as Mars goes direct for us to understand that we need to manage those emotions and to feel them. Don't dismiss them by any means, because that's what causes us to be sick and repressed and all of those kind of things. But to just have a more honest evaluation of the emotions that are coming through, feel and release them, and just question what they are, why are they there, what's triggered those emotions. And then from that space of emotional, receiving the emotion and working with the emotion is not acting in the emotion. So we need to just be careful of that as we move into a more of a Mars direct position, that we're not being impulsive, we're not taking impulsive actions or decisions from an emotive place. And it goes back to that lovely little theory I like to give, that in an emotion, we're not sensing clarity, we're sensing the emotion, the overwhelm, the wound. And it's only after we've dealt with the emotion, we come into a clearer space. And it's in that clearer space that we should then make some actions with. So we've got also the fact that on the 25th, that's tomorrow, Mercury will conjunct with Saturn in Pisces. And this is a time for contemplation. It's a real time for some, again, just deeper inner reflections, to contemplate, to try to weigh out and get balance. Because I think we're going to be in spaces where we're like weighing over onto one side, and that might be totally as a response to old woundings or hurt places. So think about how you can contemplate whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up, in a way that brings you into more balance. And that's going to be the keyword: balance of perspective. Knowing that emotional wounds are running high at the moment, and they might get us into loops of negative thinking. So it's time to have meaningful conversations with people that this might be around or about. It's time to understand that certain things are coming up again to be addressed as usual, and for you to work with them rather than react to them. And that comes really well in time with the 27th, when the new moon comes in Pisces, and it's an opportunity with all new moons for new beginning, but with specific kind of reflection on the creative, the spiritual, and the emotional. And this is going to be looking at what is your creative life like at the moment, and where does that need a revamp? What is your spiritual life like at the moment? What else could you do? What is calling to you? And then emotional. What emotions are you sat on, hiding, repressing? Or what emotions are you overwhelmed in or operating from? So those three things, creative, spiritual, and emotional, are what that energy is going to be like right up until we go into Saturday the 1st, which is the Venus retrograde, which is what I really want to do most of this energy report on. So just think of the steps before, think about what's moving forward, know that there's going to be emotions, know that there's going to be a way you need to deal with them without repressing, without being overwhelmed by them. Try to have deeper, meaningful conversations, watch out for negative thinking, bring everything into balance, address your creative, your spiritual, and emotional, and you'll be right on cue for the Venus retrograde. Now, Venus, and you know I've said this a million times, but it's very dear to my heart because I am Taurian and I'm ruled by the planet Venus. And I love everything Venus energy. I feel it at the core of my soul. And this Venus energy is really about love, beauty, and finances. And so they're good themes to think about when we think of Venus. And the same happens with this Venus retrograde. It's not about the dynamic moving forward, it's actually moving backwards. So this is predicting that you need to go more introspect, you need to do more reflection on your status of relating. Now, I know this is coming up massively for me at the moment, and I really can't avoid it because it's coming in and slapping me across the face. And Venus is saying, come on, more introspection, putting more light on many things, my woundings around love and relationships, my healings around love and relationship, and my requirements and requests as I move forward in relating, and how I wish to see that, and what my boundaries are, and what I want and what I desire, and being able to communicate all the different things that Venus is trying to show us. Now, I have this week given you a supplementary bonus gift. If you see this on YouTube, then you'll probably see there's a link underneath that it says get your free Venus survival guide. And in there, I've included some of the themes, some like key psychoanalytical questions to be asking yourself, and also a ceremony that might be really useful for you to do on Saturday as we embrace the Venus going into retrograde. So you're going to be mainly focusing on past relationships. What did you learn from past relationships? Are you able to reflect upon them enough without being, all projectory on the other person? It was their fault. It was all about them. But are you allowed yourself to think about the past behaviors that you have operated in relationships that may have caused you the problems in the past, rather than projecting that on somebody else? And write those down, be trying to really be self-reflective. That's evolutionary work, to be self-reflective. It's we all know what we are. It doesn't make us grow knowing what we are. Living what we are makes us grow, but actually knowing what we're not and the things that have caused us problems is deep reflective work that ushers in transformation into our lives. So if you are in cycles in relationships that are negative, if you're in a relationship that needs more energy putting in, or you desire more from that relationship, then really, really think about the reflection of what you need to heal, what comes up for you, and how you are in control of that and need to work on those behaviors. So I wouldn't do anything significantly changing at the moment with your relationships, however you find them. Don't make any impulsive emotional decisions in that relationship. It is going to be some emotional triggers will be coming up in this energy, and some of you may already have been feeling that prior to this. And it's important to understand those emotional triggers and work with them within yourself so that they can change around you. Because remember, we're always inviting in energies and behaviors that want to trigger these aspects of ourselves that we are not conscious of. So, work with them until they're clear and that there's no emotional charge anymore. And then from that space, make some decisions with the clarity, not in the emotion, not in the introspection. You're just spending some time. Because remember, the energy of retrograde is backwards. So it's just slowing us down a little. So take the time to reflect on the relationships. This is going on till, end of March, beginning of April, and be reflecting about whether your current relationship or the relationships that have gone past were resonant with your values. What are your values in relationship? What do you expect? What do you want? What do you desire? Do you make that clear? So it's really a good time to honor that and beginning to work with what you actually want, making it conscious. I also have published somewhere, and I'll add it to this link, a whole set of relationship questions. So if you're new to relating, what are those kind of questions that you should be asking that might help you find somebody or check that someone indeed resonates with you on the level that you're looking for and to evolve into? So, yeah, pretty deep work with Venus, and money is also part of the Venus energy in just sat with your relationship with money. What is your relationship with money? What have you been hiding about yourself? Some of us live in lack and think we're okay with that, but really we're not, and we don't want to face it because it means that we've got to step up. You know, are you abundant? Are you caring? Are you sharing? Do you hoard money? Do you live for the drive of money? Just reflecting what your relationship is like with money. Write it down. Write down, what is my relationship with money like? Are you poor at saving? Are you really never got any money? Well, you can go on for the rest of your life with that, or you can change it. And you only get to change it by reflecting on it and finding where the wounds are and the shadows live within that relationship so that you can move it forward. So this energy is really, really important to understand that main theme, that whether it's a relationship with money, other people, a lover, that if you don't reflect upon it, if you don't dig out the shadows and the poor behaviors and wounds around it, then that's how it operates and that's where it operates from. And when you make those things conscious, you can change the cycles. So it's big work and it's big soul work. And that's why I love to use these kind of astrological energies as a motivational device and a guiding light into those deeper emotions, into those deeper places that are coming up for us to evolve and heal and move forward. And, in the advancement of society and the world, as our world screams at us, things have got to change. And we do too. So Venus brings in that change. She is the energy of love and beauty. And that's what we want to see in the world, within yourself, within other people. So if you work with this in this portal, it can be very, very powerful for you. So hope you all have a transformative time this week, feeling the energy of the Venus with Goddess, the love, the beauty, and may she work deeply with you to bring more of that into your life. So bye for now, Collette.